Hello and welcome back to the Draw Pod. It's me, your host Elyse, and this 25th episode of this show, I'll be chatting while painting a scene from my room. It's like my desk. If you're new here though, this is a visual podcast where I draw something and chat with you as I go. You really don't have to watch the video to know what's going on, and if you prefer to listen to it on a podcast app, it's available everywhere. If you want to watch the YouTube video though, check out my channel, which is linked in the description of the podcast. Also, if you would like to see the final image, check out my art Instagram, which is at Elyse_draws. So in this week's episode, I want to talk about my ideal morning for happiness and productivity throughout the day. Of course, this is my ideal routine, and I haven't been sticking to it lately, but I think this is more of a way for me to just put this out into the universe and hold myself accountable and actually get some sleep and practice good sleep hygiene. It's very important. But before we get to that, I'm going to give you a bit of a life update, something new I learned, and a book update. So as for my life update, just as I have been telling my diary/journal this week, there's not much new going on in my life. I'm continuing to apply to jobs, make connections, and make art. One cool thing was that yesterday I had a phone interview type thing, and that was really, really exciting and good. I think it went well. So I am glad to get some more experience doing that, and I'm kind of seeing things sort of turn up. For me, turn up, is that the right word to say, or the phrase? Things are kind of looking sunnier for me in job applications and stuff. I don't know if it actually is getting better or if it's just a shift in my perspective, but overall, I'm feeling a lot more confident in myself and in this job search. Remember, Elyse, it's not you, it's the pandemic. So important to remember. But yes, this week, or I said on here, this week is going to be fully dedicated to job searching and painting. And I wrote this at the beginning of the week. And crazy enough, I am recording this podcast again on Friday, the day before it goes up. That usually it doesn't happen. As I mentioned last episode, I usually like to record pretty far in advance, but from this note that I left for myself about working on job searching and painting, I can say that I have followed through with that. I did a lot of job searching at the beginning of the week, sent out some applications, got some rejections, fun stuff like that. I also, because of my major job search at the beginning of the week, or networking emails and stuff that I sent. Anyway, I accidentally kind of set up a ton of networking calls with people this week. And I also had, the interview I mentioned, and I also had an event with a organization that I'm a part of in Austin to attend this morning at 8 a.m. very early. But all of that went really well. I learned so much this week. And yeah, also with painting, I did this cute little painting here that you're watching coming together. But I did that, and then I also worked some on getting my Etsy shop set up. And part of that was doing some sample pieces to paint of these cute dogs and cats. I was very excited to kind of realize that I really like to paint dogs and cats and other animals and do these cute little portraits. So I'm really excited about having my Etsy shop launched. Here's a quick little plug to that. It's called Elyse Draws Store. It's all one word if you add all the stuff together. I'll put it in the description of the podcast. But it currently has 3 shirts that I made using my cry cut and iron on vinyl. It's basically just a piece that I made sometime, I think in early 2019, maybe sometime 2018, but I made this piece of art that is kind of like an abstract botanical floral line art situation. And I put that on a shirt, and it's really cute. And then I also have sticker packs in my shop. I'm not sure how I feel about selling individual stickers in my shop because I like selling on Redbubble. I like having the audience I have on Redbubble and having that just be my main sticker place. But I figured I would choose some of my best-selling stickers or kind of stickers that make sense together and put them in sticker packs to buy on my Etsy. And I make those also with my cry cut. So that's I guess a pretty exciting life update to have my Etsy up and running. I've been working a long time to actually make this happen. I was supposed to launch it on about September 20th of this year, and I didn't. But now it's up. I'm hoping to add more to my store in the future. I'd like to also do tote bags and maybe some more shirts, but oh my gosh, it takes so much out of me to do the shirts. So basically you like get your vinyl, you put it on the mat, goes through the cutting machine, and then you have to what they call weed it out. And basically this means going in with this little sharp pointy thing, and you pull out all of the, I guess, negative space on the vinyl that you don't want to be in there. And then you can take that, iron it onto a shirt. That part's not too time consuming, but it is challenging because I did mess up one of my shirts this time and I was very upset about that. Anyway, so yeah, enjoying painting, enjoying having fun, and yeah, nothing really else to report. My brain is a little all over the place right now because I just took a phone call and I paused this recording for an hour. Anyway, I'm back now. That's pretty much it for my life update. Things are going well for me, so yes. I'm probably gonna cook something really good for dinner tonight. I forget what I was even gonna say. Oh, I'm gonna have some tortellini. It's gonna be good. Okay, now, something new I learned. Now, this is a little bit different this week. It's a little sad, but something new I learned was that, I learned a lot of things from Jeopardy, which is pretty much one of my favorite shows. It's something that I love to watch with my mom. It's kind of become our tradition to watch it pretty much every day during the pandemic when we're all at home together. And unfortunately, this week we learned that Alex Trebek passed away. Just wanted to take this moment for thanking him to thank him for hosting one of my favorite shows of all time, where I have learned so much. And it's a television show like no other, and it means a lot to me. So I'm really going to cherish the next few episodes, I guess. I think until Christmas, he recorded episodes. So anyway, yes. The other thing that's a separate note, something I learned, which is often food related, is that I love homemade pizza and I should make it more frequently. I tried out this recipe from this Italian cookbook. I think I mentioned it before. I made a few recipes from it previously because I've just been on a little bit of a cooking kick. I kind of need to get back into it. But I found this recipe for pizza dough from their restaurant, and it was, okay, first of all, I have to say it was very poorly written, and the crust turned out pretty good. I think I didn't roll it thin enough, but maybe also I didn't let it rise enough. It was so weird. The instructions were just like, basically, okay, put all these ingredients together. It had beer in it, it had yeast, and it had baking soda, I think, or no, self-rising flour. So it had like a lot of these like rising agents, but I mixed the yeast with cold water, which was weird. Like they told me to do that. And so I did all of that, and then it says to let it rest in the refrigerator it's just like use within a day. Chill it, let it chill. I'm like, how long? Do I have to let it rise? I have no idea what I'm doing. So I was hungry and I wanted to eat like pretty much right away, like right whenever I had just made the pizza dough. So I don't think it rose well or something. I don't know. Anyway, but making homemade pizza is really fun, and this is my reminder to you that you should do it. So now for my book update. I am currently reading Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. It is very good. I think I like it more than his book Talking with Strangers, which is my first Malcolm Gladwell book that I read. It's very interesting. It's kind of basically about sort of intuition, but not just like something like you're born with, like an ability to know exactly what your opponent is going to do in tennis or something. Like you just know, like right away without having any experience. I'm not explaining this too well, but basically it's saying like people who have experienced a lot, who are kind of experts in their field, are sort of able to have this intuition sort of thing. But then also like all of us are like subconsciously are able to pick up on patterns and realize things. And it's very interesting. Like all of his books, like I really enjoy them. It's kind of taking me a little longer to get through it just because I think the font's a little smaller than some of the other books I've recently read. And it's like nonfiction. So the book I just read last week, which was Asymmetry, was like the first fiction book I had read in a while, and I just kind of breezed through that. So anyway, I am currently reading Blink. I will hopefully finish it maybe today or tomorrow. I'm trying to do like an hour a day, split up between 2 books, and I am also going to start tonight, I think, the Alpha's book, the young adult novel that I've been talking about for quite some time. I'm going to finish off that series probably in the next few days, and then also I'm going to start The Silent Patient. So really excited to read more. I'm going to do a what books I read in 2020 on my YouTube channel, but I need to get to my book goal. And I wanted to pre-record that, but it's like I simply haven't read all the books I want to read this year. So I need to get to that, but I'm looking forward to just chilling out today and doing a lot of reading. So now for my specific episode topic of the week, my ideal morning routine. So this is what I would like to do in an ideal world. And I am capable of doing it. I don't know, with the election and with some other things over the past few weeks, I have not been focusing on good sleep hygiene, so I need to get to it. But anyway, in this ideal world, I wake up at 6:30, and also having gone to sleep at an appropriate time the night before. I really started to sleep in until like 7, a little bit before November started, because obviously daylight savings time. And the sun wasn't rising until a lot later, so I was just going with that. But I find that I definitely, like, my daily cycles, I guess, are just like how I operate best is with the sun. And so when the sun rises, I just have to be up. So I usually do wake up when the sun goes up, which is about 6:30. And I'm trying to go to bed at 10. I'm really trying to just be in bed and off my phone, off of YouTube, by 10:30 or 10. Yes. Anyway, and then also in the morning, I would like to not check on my phone at all for a while at least. I know a lot of people suggest not checking it for an hour in the morning, and what I'm usually capable of doing is not going on social media platforms really for the first hour of my day, because I usually get up and I walk. But the question is, in that period of time whenever I am getting ready for my day, if I actually, manage to stay off of my phone right before my walk. And that really, really changes the rest of the day for me, for some reason. I guess, I don't know, maybe it's my focus. Maybe it's just the extra time that it adds on to like listen to something. I don't really know, but I'm really trying to not watch any YouTube videos before I go on my walk in the morning. I have had, that's another thing I guess I can update you on, social media fast or whatever. I'll get to that. But I just don't go on social media really. And I think that makes me a lot happier throughout my day, just for some reason. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Anyway, so I'd wake up at 6:30, like I said, having gotten a lot of sleep, and then I would not check my phone for about an hour or so. And then I would go on a walk with my dogs, a nice 45-minute to hour-long walk. I mean, I really wish I could do an hour and a half like I used to do at the beginning of everything, like in March. I was still in school at that time. I was finishing up my degree, and I was just like, I simply do not want to be here I don't want to start school right now. I don't know, I just wasn't really looking forward to the activities of my day then. But once that ended, so I would go on these long walks. But so now that once that ended, now I just need to go on shorter walks, because I kind of want to, I'm actually eager to get started on my day. So I'd go on that walk with my dogs, and then I would like to make my usual delicious breakfast of eggs and toast. As I'm going through this, it seems like I do kind of keep up with this morning routine, but it's kind of goes off the rails a lot, especially recently. It's gone off the rails. Anyway, my delicious breakfast of eggs and toast. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but it's my favorite thing, and I've had it basically every day that I could. In Spain, I was with my senora, and she cooked breakfast for me, but she also didn't. Basically, in Spain, they don't really do eggs for breakfast, it seems, or at least I didn't have that experience. So no eggs then. But most of my life since freshman year, I've done 2 fried eggs. Originally, it was over hard. I guess technically this is still considered over hard, but maybe it's a little softer. Anyway, 2 eggs over hard on on 2 pieces of toast, and then I drench it with green Tabasco. It's delicious. Also, speaking of Tabasco, I tried their scorpion sauce that they just came out with or something. It's terrible. I am a wuss, but also I don't really like the flavor of it. It has some guava and I think some pineapple juice or mango, I don't know, in it too. Not my favorite, way too spicy. I could only really taste that fruity flavor for 2 seconds before it was just horribly overwhelming and way too spicy. So it's fun. But after this delicious breakfast of eggs on toast, then I would ideally cold shower. And this is something that I do not do, ever. I did a little more in the summer because obviously it was hot. But now it is, I'm not even going to say it's cold. It's just kind of a more mild, moderate temperature. And I like a hot shower, warm shower. Not a very long one, but I like to take a warm shower. But cold showers really get me going and really make it hard for me to just get slower in the morning or stay slow, stay tired. So that would be my ideal situation. Then I would jump into my already laid out clothes for the day. And then I would probably, start getting to work, probably this is what I was going to say. I would like to, ideally, in this ideal world, I'd get down to work by 9 a.m., which I kind of sometimes do. It's usually more like 9:30 or 10. And then I would be at a Starbucks or a coffee shop, but we will have to wait for that to be a common occurrence. Because this is, an ideal world. But anyway, that's kind of my ideal morning routine. I just wanted to go through that. Also, still trying to figure out what I want to talk about on this podcast, but hopefully you found this interesting. Anyway, some other things in my brain I wanted to talk about are that social media break not going very well. I don't know. Sometimes I get on Instagram. Sometimes I go on Facebook. I know I'm not being very good at it, but I also am making more art. So I want to post on my art Instagram more. And then I happen to scroll a little bit, but then I always delete it again. And yeah, I don't know. It's maybe I'll try again in December, but right now with where I'm at with social media and the amount of time I spend on it, I'm very comfortable with this kind of, it's kind of how I was before Peachtober, October. Whenever I had to post every day and I had to have Instagram on my phone because it wouldn't make sense to just delete it every day and then re-download it. But this was kind of like how I was before, where I would mostly have Instagram just deleted, but only re-download it for short periods of time. So yeah, I mean, like I said, not happy with my progress on the specific challenge of not being on social media, but that is okay. And I'm a lot happier this month than I was last month in terms of, kind of just not being so overly connected all the time. I hate Instagram. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to mention was that I started watching The Queen's Gambit, and I'm sure you've started watching it already. It's very good. I'm really enjoying it. Although my one complaint is that we share our Netflix account with some family friends, and I'm assuming that they started watching it already. And so I logged in, I was going to start up the show, and then I saw that, someone had watched this and was on episode 5. So I clicked play from beginning, because for some reason, I don't go on Netflix that much. I don't really like Netflix that much. I mean, it's fine. I just don't watch a ton of TV. Although this weekend I might marathon The Crown because I haven't watched since season 2. I think I finished season 2 almost. Anyway, so I wasn't sure what that would do. And so basically we started on episode 5. My mom and I were watching it and we were like, well, this is pretty good, but we don't really understand much of it. And then I realized about 3/4 of the way through the episode that we were watching episode 5. I was very mad at myself, but then, we watched more of it. It's very good. So if you need another person to tell you that this is a good show, that's me. I'm telling you. So anyway, The last thing I think I wanted to talk about was that I've started taking the weekends more seriously. I think maybe I've touched on this before, or at least I've touched on sort of my desire to take the weekends more seriously. That I kind of am trying to sleep in more a little bit then and allow myself to just read and create more. I like to really save a ton of I read during the week, but I'm really trying to allow for Saturdays and Sundays to just be my reading days where I am just spending all of my time with a book or painting something. So it's created some good boundaries in my life to do that. And yeah. So anyway, I think I will be wrapping up the episode for this week just right here. I might try to start getting back to doing just like 20-minute episodes. I'm not really sure. Not really sure what my vision is for the podcast. I'm just trying to keep creating and figuring out as I go along. So anyway, thank you as always for listening to this podcast. I will make sure to link all of the books I talked about in this episode and any other important things I think I should link in the description of it. So also, if you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, or if you just love me and you want to do this, you should leave a review, just like a 5-star review or something on Apple Podcasts. It helps people discover me, apparently. And like this video if you're watching on YouTube. And anyway, I really appreciate you and your time that you spend listening/watching this. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead and just a great day today. So I'll talk to you next Saturday for another episode of the Draw Pod. Bye.